found a couple of vacuum cleaners in the garbage, and I've been really needing a dust collection system in my shop, and I'm going to try to make one out of a couple of these vacuum cleaners. One of them, the motor does work. I don't know what's going on with this one. It tries to start. Usually with these little cheap sweepers, the switches go out on them, or people clog them up and don't know how to unclog them, and so they just throw them out. So most of the time I pick up a vacuum on the side of the road, it works. It just needs a little bit of maintenance. So I'm going to tear into these and see what I can't come up with. This little fiber was stuck in between the contacts, not letting it get the current, and sometimes making it spark. And I think that's all that was wrong with it. So this motor's good to go. Well, I've done some testing, and yeah, I've done some testing. I don't know anything about I don't know anything about dust collectors. I've never had one, and you know, I'm just now really learning. I don't know if this will be strong enough to do what it needs to do, but also don't know how it works and how to dump this into a bigger container. While I was having lunch, I found this water softener tank, and it was just the right price, free, just the way that I like it. This could be a mistake. Although I'm not having much luck with this dust separator, I'm learning a lot on the internet about vacuums. There's a lot of debate on the power of vacuums and the horsepower. So if you're interested in that sort of nonsense, you know, take a look at it. Apparently the vacuum cleaner business has been lying to people about horsepower and how they use their power or whatever. And so it made me do some investigation in some of the vacuum cleaners that I have around here. Like I have a bigger vacuum cleaner that I found on the side of the road, and it's actually a 10 amp vacuum cleaner. The biggest shop vac that I have is only a 7 amp, and it boasts 2 horsepower or something like that. But you know, if in the terms of talking horsepower, it seems like these little vacuum cleaners have just as much power as a shop vac. And you know, maybe the design has something to do with it. Maybe I'm just an idiot, I don't know. I'm just playing around with this stuff, trying to make it work. And if you're a reasonable person, you know that we are lied to quite a bit in advertising. And if you want to know the truth about something, quite often you have to delve into that information yourself and figure it out. Like I said before, I'm no expert on this stuff, and I just find it quite interesting. At the stage I'm at now with this dust collector, the design is failing because it's still sucking sawdust through the motor, and I don't want that because that could potentially be a fire hazard and wear the motor out and really undo everything that I'm trying to do here. So I'm going to play around with it and see if I can't come up with something a little bit better. And I also have another vacuum cleaner over there. If I need more power, I'm actually thinking about putting a dual motor system on this and see what I can make it do. So it's all in the spirit of discovery, and I'll see what happens. There is a comparison between a shop vac and a regular household vacuum. I'm not finding much difference. Here's the shop vac brand. Well, we're rated at 7 amps. And this vacuum, Abyssal vacuum found on the side of the road, is 10 amps. I'm finding a lot more strength from the household vacuum, but this old shop vac has been put through the ringer. And I have another shop vac in here, and I'm going to do the same test, but I don't think that I'm going to have much different results. This is the supposed 2 horsepower peak, and that's where they get you. That's the discrepancy, the peak performance. And I read somewhere that a lot of these motors are tested in an atmosphere that's negative 20 degrees to help them perform better during testing, which isn't a very good test, because how many people do their vacuuming at 20 degrees below? And this one still didn't pick up this little block of 2x4 as good as the household vacuum. I didn't mean for this to be a comparison between shop vacs and household vacuum cleaners. That's just what it's turned into in my investigation of vacuums. You can't look at the horsepower, supposed horsepower of a vacuum cleaner and have better results. Now, I'm no expert and I have no clue about what I'm talking about, but what I'm finding here in the shop is there's not much difference in the vacuuming power of the household vac to the shop vac. You may find something else, but I'm just trying to build an inexpensive dust collector for my shop. My design so far is not proving fruitful, but I am optimistic. And I could go get a dust deputy and hook it to the top of my barrel and just be right as rain. But I'm trying to do something different. I'm trying to use what I have, and I'm trying not to spend the $60 or whatever it is for the little cyclone. I think if this doesn't work out, I can build my own. My system is working. It does have some air leaks, and I don't want the dust going through the motor the way that it is. I just had to figure out how to make that work. Like I said, I don't know what I'm talking about.